this what is that? The thing that you put up is a virtual video. I mean the
Oh, IVR, the phone system.
yeah, phone system. Is
Yeah,
that something new or
yeah, man. Oh, dude. So if you haven't, hold on just a second here. Blog dot.
I saw your I kind of went
Yeah,
through your 40-minute the video you put up. And then I got to kind of going back and forth. I saw a little bit of you and Charles, and people talking about it. So how is it working or?
yeah. I mean, I got my IVR set up as well. I know Charles has got his set up to just record. Charles, you got yours set up to record voicemails, right? Because you don't even.
Hey, Charles.
What's going on? Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so you don't even answer the phone.
Hell no.
Oh, I have an I. Hey, Charles, I have an idea for the tone problem. Just go on YouTube and look for like a tone.
I
Like a
thought
tone
about the
sound.
same thing
Yeah,
and
and then
put it
just
at the
add that,
end of
like,
the
like add it in
message.
there right
Yeah.
before it, and then let him record. So
Yeah.
there you go. But I was thinking about
I
like
thought
how do
about
we get
that
it?
too.
Oh, I know how do we get a tone? Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
jingle or like ding 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 or something, whatever. Anyway, that was
Yeah.
just an idea.
Give
I
me a
was like,
minute. I'll be right
yeah,
back.
sure, man. Oh,
Alrighty.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a tissue real quick. I gotta blow my nose. Shit. Hold on. Oh, oh. Charles, how good are you at leveling a 3D print bed?
Leveling a 3D print bed.
Yeah.
I've never done 3D printing.
Oh, see that right there?
Yeah.
I got that in a trade, and
Nice.
it's so I've been like that's why it's sitting there because I've been working on it. But
Sorry, my daughter dropped off her doll.
oh, okay. Yeah, so I've been trying to. It's a beast of a printer, so I'm trying to get it all tuned up and ready to go to start printing some big stuff. I didn't know if you
Oh,
just knew how to level a print bed that big. That's all. Ah,
I mean, I'm
you strike
sure
me as somebody who would enjoy 3D printing.
I've just never gotten into it. I don't know. It just never really. Again, like having to program it.
You don't have to. You don't program it.
Oh,
You
even if you download, it's too much work. I'd rather just go buy the crap.
all right. Okay. Well, anyway,
You know me. I don't like working.
I know, man.
I
You
did
are
that for 20 plus years.
You're literally the laziest person I know.
It was funny earlier. So I had a,
And that's not like a slam or anything like that. It's like
yeah, no.
you perfect it to an art.
Well, so like earlier today, I was on a call with a networking group owner, and because we had another one come on, and he's like, he said your calendar's pretty booked out. He said he said you don't do sales calls. I'm like, no. He's like, so why is your calendar booked out? I said, agencies. Like I'm just on calls with other agencies, other businesses, just coaching, advising, helping, whatever.
See,
Like,
that's
that's what I spend most of my
goal.
day doing.
My goal is a zero calendar. That's what I want to get to where like I have literally because I've seen that that you see that like all full of your news feed. Like, oh, look at my calendar. I've got like 500 appointments this week. Like you literally don't have time to go eat lunch. You're
Yeah.
on calls all day long. So I
Well,
do
like
not
I
want,
just had another agency book another call with me. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Well, all right then.
I've had
You're
two
getting paid for the
agencies book
coaching, though,
calls
right?
with me today. So
What's that?
I've had two agencies book calls with me just since like
Why are you getting agencies call you? Or
to
where?
figure
Just like the
out
high-level
how.
group?
Well, so it's just like, hey, how are you selling? Hey, we're stuck in this position. We don't.
Are you telling them to join the
understand.
group? Tell them to join this Facebook group and then get on office hours.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have been through here, some of them have been through Extendly, some of them through the Marketer's Toolkit, through UpHex. I don't even use UpHex, but I have people reach out to me from that, and it's general advertising, online questions, and a lot of it's just I've got this, I've got that. I just don't know how to sell it, or everybody tries to overcomplicate everything.
Mike, you need to book a
That's
call
the
with Charles.
biggest problem is that I find most of the people that I talk to, it's one of two things: either they can't get out of their own way, get out of that analysis paralysis mode, or they're just way overcomplicating the offer. And so, yeah, it gets to the point where they can't even sell because they can't even figure out their offer. It's like, well, if you can't figure it out, how's someone else going to figure it out?
Right.
And a lot of people are intrigued by the way that I approach it because it is very non-standard. You go into the high-level group, everybody tell you not to do what I'm doing.
Well, I was just chatting with Steven today about, I forgot something. What else? What we were chatting about, but talking about, and brought up the IVR, and I might have been no. I was talking to somebody else today. Sorry, I was chatting to Steven, but then talking to somebody else and saying like you basically sell any one feature of the SaaS for $297. If they want to use everything else, they can. But you're going to sell like, oh, you want this feature? Here you go, $297 a month. Oh, did you want to use everything else? Yeah, go ahead. Yep. So everything is $297. Everything is $297. Just sell that one thing that they need.
The only thing I'm probably going to do is, so I've got to add our virtual assistant services to the website, and then I've got to get that added, and then I'm probably going to do a social only package to where it is simply just the social planner for like a really like $39 a month or something.
Yeah.
And it'll just be the social planner and HighLevel AI content.
Gotcha.
Writer. So it'll be that. There won't be, everything will be disabled as much as I can. And then I use the marketer's toolkit to strip everything else out and set custom help docs to just the social planner, so they don't like go into the help docs and be like, oh, where the heck is the social planner help docs? Where I see all this other stuff. Where's the stuff I need? So,
yeah.
And I won't have to do onboarding or anything for that. So, because they'll just log in and land right on the social planner. Here you go. Connect your accounts. If you can't figure it out,
if you can't figure out social planner, I mean,
yeah, and they'll still have access to chat support. So, I mean, it's like any questions they have, chat support can definitely answer.
Yeah.
And the help docs will be right there, and they'll still have access to Slack and the community and everything else. They'll only have 2 menu items. They won't have a location switcher or anything. They'll just have social planner and AI content.
Cool.
So the switcher is that the toolkit that can strip all
toolkit,
that stuff?
Yeah, you can make it to where if they're only in one location, it hides the switcher. Because really, there's no point in them seeing the switcher if they're in one location. So
okay,
gotcha.
Will you do that will you do that under a different brand?
Oh,
you do it. So you'll make it on your Pinnacle site.
Yeah, I'll just have a single page going over some of the features of the social planner, and it'll just, it's just going to be one price. $39 a month, get a social planner.
It's cheap.
Yeah, well, the social planner world is very stupidly
saturated. Yep,
saturated and competitive.
I'm gonna launch mine at $37. What are you talking about?
Hey, man, go for it.
So how are you going to be setting up the social planner then, since you can't sell anything on HighLevel for less than $97?
Sure, you can.
Or did they offer that now? Oh, that's right. They got the 20 some odd plans now. So. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm waiting to see all the ridiculous, like, not that you would do it, but all the other race to the bottom offers out there for people trying to undercut everybody for this feature, that sort of thing. I think I'm gonna try to stick to as close to just $297 whole enchilada as much as possible.
To me, the only standalone. To me, the only thing that makes sense to do like a low ticket offer individual item at a HighLevel is the social planner.
Reviews.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
No, because they still have to get into settings and all this other crap.
Yeah, you
and
still got to add your integrations
and
and all that. Yeah.
so trying to think about what you can really strip down to where there's only like one, maybe two. Because I take away they don't even need settings for the social planner. They don't need anything.
Yeah, you literally
except
log
social
in.
planner.
Yeah,
The media, they don't even need a link to the media library because they can access it when they're attaching an image. They can upload there, so I don't even have to include that. The social planner is really the only thing that you can strip down just to that specific tool and not have anything else showing in the system at all. It's really the only tool, because websites and funnels, you'd still have to have access to settings for domains, URL redirects, yada, yada, yada. There's integration issues with that. What if they can't get their domain? You'd still have to do a setup call for it.
Okay, yeah, forms and calendars and all that stuff for the website.
Yeah, you got all this other stuff that you'd have to give them access to. So keeping it as like click here, buy, no setup calls, no nothing. Social planner is really the only thing that is there that you can strip it down that far to. Memberships you can't, reputation you can't, reporting's useless without using the CRM. Task lists you can't. There's really nothing else that you can strip down all the way to just that one tool and not offer access to anything else.
Can you move the social planner to the top level navigation?
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of. Yes and no. So with the toolkit, you can. Well, here, let me do this,
because that's a pretty good foot in the door offer.
Oh, there you go. You should be able to share screen now if you want to.
Let's see.
Yeah, you get them in on the social planner, and then you could offer them an upsell to basic SaaS, and then you just hit them with nurture for forever.
There we go. So when he logs in, it'll log directly to the social planner. And so it says social planner over here, which is fine. But there's nothing. This is the one thing that I haven't been able to get rid of through the toolkit. But I'm going to get rid of that. And that's it. AI content writers right there. Social planner.
AI content writer versus the AI content writer inside of the planner
Correct.
itself.
Correct. Right, because I don't want to get into rebuilding with this either.
And
this is running off a 3.5 turbo, so they can sit here and generate content all they want. It's like one account will pay for several accounts using it.
What what embed do you have on there? What is that?
This?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who puts that out? Toolkit puts this out?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So just like so this way they can pull this up. They can do whatever in here, go through this. So let's say start a new one. Write a social post about the benefits for small business owners and we will. But this way they can copy whatever they want, shrink it down, and do whatever they want, and then come back into it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because otherwise it would be an iframe, which totally breaks the experience. And there you go. There's the social post.
Yep.
And then if I go into here, create new post.
So basically, content AI would not be turned on for these
Correct.
accounts.
Yep.
Do you know when Reels and Stories will be available for Facebook?
I don't.
Yeah, they're only available for Instagram right now. I actually like this. This is actually a pretty decent tool.
Social
Starting-
post? Yeah.
I'm starting to use it for my clients, for my agency stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
But see, it doesn't even show the content AI because I have it turned off. So in this particular plan, in the SaaS configurator, everything will be turned off for the most part, except for in the SaaS configurator, I'll turn it all the way down to the minimum offer, just make sure, and then everything else is hidden through the marketers because it has to be automated. So I can't automate permissions,
Yeah.
but I can automate what's showing through the toolkit. So that way, even the stuff I can't control via permissions, I can go ahead and hide.
Are you going to lock down to how many you would want to have access to settings for team members, right? Or whatever it's called.
Nope.
And, so just one login.
Yep.
Hmm.
Or he can chat support and say, hey, I want to add someone. They'll say email support at Get Pinnacle. And then when I get around to it, I'll add them.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Much is Toolkit?
$297. $297. Yeah. Because you need the customizer. You can't just do the theme builder. The customizer is where you really start stripping out stuff. Okay. But there's a lot of useful tools in there that makes it really easy to implement. Like Google address autofill. So when you're in a contact and you're putting in their address, you have the Google address autofill. You get the map links. So if you have real estate people, they can click a button and pull the address up on Zillow, Google Maps, or satellite view. You can add like autosave. Oh my gosh, I love that. To the contact detail. You can turn on autosave, and that way you don't have to worry about typing something, going all the way down the bottom, hitting save. And even if you turn off autosave, it pushes the save button up to the top instead of the bottom. And it makes it sticky, so that way it stays up there as you're making changes, scrolling around the contact profile. That button's right there.
How's it injecting all its code in the agency setting through a JavaScript?
Yep, one script.
Have you noticed it affecting the load of the app?
Nope. No, and actually what's nice, one thing I do really like is, so when depending on how you iframe, so like my help docs. So if I go over here and I go into help documentation, see how it's loading? Okay. So this is because in here, it's not preloading the documents. Okay. But if I click here, oh, come on. Of course. If I click there, it preloads that frame. So as soon as they click it, it's there. There's no loading time or anything. When it's loading the system, it's actually preloading like my change log. And so like there it is. Bam.
That's your change log.
That's my change log. And then I've got help.c, loaded it right up, right to the social planner, because for this particular SaaS offer, I have it preset to the SaaS offer. So when they check out with that SaaS offer, I don't have to worry about locations because it's tied to the actual plan.
Okay.
So they check out under that plan, it applies all these rules to any account that's created under that plan. Because otherwise you'd be going in, like the old way to do it was to go into the account, your agency account, and do custom code, but then you had to constantly go back and add location IDs to try to pull whatever edits you were making into addition that would become part of your onboarding process, which is
So those docs that
crazy.
you have up there, are those Extendly docs or are those?
Those are Chat HQ that have iframed on the
Oh, wow.
side. So
Okay,
we
So
offer
that's a
both. We have both, so we get both.
got it. And
They're the same, but
and through the tools, the GH tools, you're able to just tie to the plan
Mhm.
those help docs. Interesting.
yeah, because I can change the menu items like so I can make all the changes that I make on every other account, but then I can append or replace certain things. So like these header buttons, I replaced them because I wanted this to pop straight to the social planner, where on all my other accounts, I have video quick links. So all
Okay.
my regular accounts, this is what they land on, the video quick links, which is good for them. But for an account that's social only, they don't need to get into all this.
No.
They can
Okay.
if they want to. But if they want that immediate help, I want them to just be able to go right into where they need to be in the help docs. Change log and then the community.
So your change logs are tied also just to the planner?
Yeah, so this is done. This is iframed in.
But again, so your help docs, again, if I just ordered your social planner, I don't need to see a change log for everything else in the system.
No, but I leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah, they might want to upsell later on.
Yeah, they may
Okay.
want to. Man, look at all this crap they're doing. What's the rest of this thing do?
Okay.
And then I can just swap them over to the 297 plan.
Got it.
That'll be the upgrade path. So that they either have social for 39 or they can upgrade to 297, and that'll be the upgrade path for that plan. That way it's not trying to recreate a sub account and all that other nonsense.
Very nice. Very nice. Cool. Man, we got a lot of people joined in tonight. So, Kevin, what's up?
Yeah, boy.
What have you been doing?
Dude.
Well, what wins you got this week?
Not really any wins. I have some questions.
Oh, okay. Sure. Hit me.
I've got a company, a SaaS company I'm helping out, and I'm trying to get, like when they, actually just kind of blew my mind. It's gone. I'm going to think about it.
Okay.
I'll punch back in when I think.
All right. We'll move over to Steven then. Wins, updates.
Wins, not so much. Launching my whole podcast authoritative approach to the market from here now to the end of the year. Probably the thing that I think we all struggle with is top of funnel when it comes to cold prospecting. And we all know we need to kind of be talking to people who are spending money on advertisement, right?
Mhm.
And a little thing, because I want to see who's doing video and who's spending money, is I found a little hack to find my ideal avatar.
Nice.
And yeah, so that's the big win. It's like, okay, finally got something on the front end to find the right people and build a list. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to start reaching out to about 20. Oh, is that you? 25 to 50 people a day. I'm going to do some cold outreach, personal emails.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Sascha, welcome. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I discovered you guys, I don't know, in the last 2 weeks. So I'm really new to HighLevel.
Well, welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the welcome. My background is market research, particularly on the management consulting side. And so end of last year, I kind of discovered the magic of ChatGPT along with everyone else and figured out how quickly it would disrupt the consultancy side. And so June, July of this year, I thought, well, I'll go out on my own and start figuring out exactly what I can do in terms of providing education and training on that front, particularly focusing on small businesses. And but I was struggling in terms of what would be a platform, what would be a good source for recurring revenue. My background is market research, not marketing, which is completely different and completely separate. In my previous role, I would engage companies like, let's say, your agencies to conduct work on behalf of our clients, and I do the analysis on the back end and write the report, and then re-engage under a new contract or a new proposal. But so my struggle was, okay, well, ideally I could teach people how to use ChatGPT and the various and the plugins and so forth. But at the end of the day, you're going to run out of work because they should learn it for themselves. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, that in combination with the fact that the Amazons, Googles, and Microsofts of the world would be integrating these features as part of their platforms. And so to the extent to which you could actually monetize that relationship, I thought would be kind of problematic, particularly from the wrapper perspective, right? And so I was thinking, how could I, wedge myself into an organization? And that's where I was on the search, and that's where I kind of discovered go HighLevel. So as I said, I recently joined up, and I didn't realize, honestly, how big the ecosystem was. I mean, I wish I'd done a bit more research on that before I really truly signed up. But I signed up under a SaaS plan, and my thinking is that I will, like the discussion tonight that Charles had with respect to answer the question I had is, what would be a great way to lead into an organization and leave them with something like that social planner or the what's that other tool, social planner, or the AI content writer. And so I discovered Extendly by way of that platform that they released, the partnership that they released. That essentially it's a GPT writer is what it is. And so I bought into that, and I figured, well, I could use that as a way as a gimme. You know what I mean? Give that away. Use that as a way to have a discussion with the organization, and then work my way into positioning the other tools and solutions for them. So I discovered you guys on YouTube, and I figured, oh my God, you're actually answering a lot of questions that are surfacing right now. A lot of questions. So
we're here every week.
yeah, indeed.
Cool. Yeah, you just you kind of just jumped into the deep end right there with like whole hog. So
yeah, I mean, indeed. I'm committed.
Yeah,
there's the line behind me. The line is behind me.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of GPT that you can do with HighLevel. I do. God, I can't imagine a day that I've had in the last several months where I haven't used it at least a couple times a day.
Yeah.
So
But
it's good stuff.
Yeah, and in terms of just desk research, if you will, I mean, I'm down here in Dallas, and so there's no shortage of networking events and commerce events and so forth. So I really just, I have a tabletop full of business cards and people that I'm going to reach out to and say, hey, if I had a plan, if I had a solution, if there's a way in which I could solve a problem for you. So I have a lot of warm leads that I'm going to follow up with, but I want to make sure that I have a stable offering. And Charles's platform, the way in which he's configured it has been, it's like, oh my dear God, I had no idea that was, what I mean? People had, there's a whole organizations that were positioned that gone to the level, to which he has. And so I didn't realize that there's all these ways in which you could extend your capabilities by partnering with fulfillment teams and so forth. I had no idea. I'm going, oh my dear Lord. This is fantastic. Because my background is operations, and I hate operations. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I've spent overnight cleaning data sets, you know what I mean? Because someone screwed up someplace, I absolutely despise it. And so the idea that I could partner with people who have been doing this a lot longer than me and with a palpable expertise in this space, I could partner with them to do on the delivery end. I'm like, that's a very palatable proposition for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nice. Well, I hope you can start scoring a whole boatload of clients. So
yeah, indeed.
Yeah, cool. Dwayne, what's up?
Sir, same thing, just day by day.
Okay.
Working on LinkedIn.
Way down in your corner.
Yeah. I'm leaning back today here.
Oh, okay.
So working on the LinkedIn a little, and also doing Alignable. So getting the cards ready. Starting to market those a little bit better.
Oh, good. Yeah, I've got.
Those are the two things.
I spent the last I spent actually all a good number of hours yesterday refactoring code after HighLevel did their big update that kind of messed up all my JavaScript. I refactored a bunch of the stuff on the demo page, so I'm hopefully finishing that up this week. If I'm going to do it if it kills me. So
I know you have it. So we do everything offline where we're actually sending it to Facebook, the actual review. Is there a way of putting that through Go High Level and just having it post to the calendar?
I know
Can
it can
we-
do. I know you can do the social posting on the reviews, but their templates are awful. And
Okay.
when they post the problem I have is that it creates, I mean, I know they're going to have that because somebody already mentioned branded templates and I saw Sean already tag one of the devs. So that's coming, that's coming. But
if we could upload the CSV file with the image already in it, so it's just a post. So we create it outside,
yeah,
but we just lob it into there so we could actually throw it on the calendar for the posting.
I mean, you could.
Canva with bulk.
Yeah, Canva can bulk do it, and then you could grab a bunch of reviews that way. But if you're talking like posting the immediate like somebody gets a review today and you want to post it, you would have to set it all up in the social planner and the whole thing there. And the one thing
more so for like say the customer can look at it and review it before it actually goes live. So we create it just what we're doing now. We're making it through Zapier. And then we actually just, instead of posting it to Facebook, we're sending it inside the template where they can actually look at it and decide to post it later.
Yeah, you could certainly do that. Like where you create that image, then you could actually, then you could send it to a Google Sheet. The only thing is like with the script that I've got, I would have to, here's the thing, like with enough people using the review script, like the automatic review social posts that we've got built, I'm actually taking those images when you send them to Cloudinary. I'm actually fetching the image and saving it to my server, and so then I've got a script that goes back like 48 hours later and blows it away because I don't want all these things stacking up on my server. So it's kind of like a little space management thing. I could probably extend the time on it and make it like 72 hours or something because I do have a truckload of space, but it would be one of those things where you'd have to tell the client, like, you got to review it and approve it within 72 hours or whatever. Or you could probably find a way to grab the image and slap it into a Google Sheet or something like that as well.
Yeah. Would it be on your server at that point, or would it be in HighLevel's server if you uploaded it? Because we're downloading it straight into HighLevel, right?
I'm trying to think of how that would work with the review images.
Kind of like there are CSVs that they upload to the.
Yeah, if you were putting the image into their media folder, or you had it linked to something in their media folder, then yeah, it would be in HighLevel at that point. But
which we can do that right now through API, correct?
You should be able to do it with API. You can't do it with version 1 of the API. You'd have to have like the OAuth
version 2.
Version 2 of the API.
Yeah, there is a media library endpoint, but I don't think there's an endpoint for the social planner.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you would still be stuck at. So let's say that you could even push it all to a Google Sheet. You would still want to go in and pull that Google Sheet. And you'd have to download the CSV, then upload it into this social planner for approval. Then they would whoever you have set for the approvals would get an email. They'd have to go into the social planner, either approve it or deny. And the
better thing would be to basically
find a better client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I like seriously find a better client. I fire that client.
Why do they feel like they need to? What are they trying to review?
Well, not so much so they can review it, but just like, so everything's all in one spot. So this way, like if we're giving them the social planner, it's automatically popping it with information. So even if they don't do anything with it, they're seeing their leads go in there. Even if they auto-populate, we have it auto-post immediately, but at least it's already in the social planner.
I mean,
so what I would do is, if you want to use, because you're using the reputation reply through Pat's tool, right? So
Correct.
what you could do, I would tell them, look, we can absolutely do that. Here is the only way it's going to happen. This is not a negotiation. Okay. We will continue with the responses, but we will be doing the social posting of the actual review directly through HighLevel.
No, it's actually
And
directly-
look, say, hey, look, it is what it is. If this is what you have to have, this is what I can offer. I'm going to steer you towards these very plain Jane, because really the only templates that are actually usable right now, and they're going to I mean, it's not even fully live. It's in the beta of HighLevel. It's not even you can't even access it from Go HighLevel or your white label domain. You have to go to beta.go HighLevel. So it is beta. The only templates that are even like that I would entertain for most businesses are like their glass templates, where it's like the gray, like it's a solid color. It looks like a piece of glass, basically.
Pretty basic.
Those are very generic, and it'll fit. You find the color that best complements their brand and say, look, this is what I can offer you. If you have to have it to where you can see it, this is what I can do. So then you just let the Freaks tool do the responses, and then you let HighLevel generate the images and post them out. That's what I would do, because otherwise you're getting so deep off into manual process. How much are they paying you for this?
Yeah, no, just the standard. It's just part of their plan, their 297 plan.
Oh, hell no.
Way too much work.
Hell no.
Yeah.
What you could do if you wanted to add an approval process instead of automatically posting, you could take the response, you could take the summary. And one thing I still like about my process, aside from me doing it and like having the ego thing, but mine actually does it uses a prompt to create a summary. It creates a summary of the review instead of like HighLevel takes an image and makes an image of the review and then posts the review as the review content. That looks kind of jinky to me. I don't like it. And like Nathan Novak, he's in our group too. He's been using the Pabbly flows, and he's actually like with the social posting and the responses, he's tailoring it per client to make sure it's SEO friendly and embedding the keywords that they need in the responses and stuff. So you're able to tweak that prompt to make it do what you want for that client if you really need to tailor it, right? As opposed to HighLevel just going like, blah, here's your review. It's like, okay, it's okay. It works. But what I would do if you needed to do an approval process, take everything and instead of posting it directly to Facebook, shove it into a Google sheet and then tag that person in HighLevel so that it sends it to them and says like they got a button like approve it, disapprove it. And so like would include like the row of that Google sheet. So then when that Google sheet gets like that trigger link fires, it could send a webhook to Pabbly again, and then Pabbly's got that Google row and says this is approved. Go ahead and post it to the page. That's what I would do, and just leave it like that. And just tell them like this has an expiration date of 48 hours. Like click it or don't, but that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be about the best way if they really need to have an approval process. But so far, all the clients I've loaded up, and they love it, and I get compliments on it looks great, and everybody I get people liking it and sharing it and stuff like that. So I've yet to have somebody say, no, wait a minute, I need to approve this first. So
yep.
Those are good looking templates you're using too, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're good. They're good for generic, and I don't have to work on them. Compliments.
The other thing I was thinking about that you could do is you could just auto post it like you have been and shoot them an email. Hey, here's what we just posted.
That too.
But you got to take the manual process out of it. Yeah. That's crazy.
I would say sit tight by first quarter 24. Everything would be rosy. With GHL.
They keep doing updates, and so as they update things, like I still like the idea of being able to edit the prompt, and I don't think they're ever going to let us edit the prompts.
They are
eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they already announced that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
We can do,
but they're not going to do that until it's pretty well nailed down.
Oh yeah, no,
because why open the barn door if you're still trying to, figure out how to lock it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, you're going to have somebody take a Wikipedia type prompt and just dump it in there and blow the whole thing out. So
ChatGPT 4 just.
Oh yeah,
Turbo just got
like what is 32K context or something like that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, man. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're upgrading to that. I mean, they're already upgrading everything to that. So, I mean,
yeah. Well, good. If I can get to the point where I can stop doing my own flows and all that stuff, that'd be great. But
you can focus on sales.
I could.
You can stop using your building.
You can focus on sales.
But so far, I have been leading HighLevel by the nose to do these things. No, I haven't. I mean, I was first with review responses, and they copied me. I'm not saying they copied me, but they copied me. So, no, I'm glad they're going to have the updates coming. It's always fun to see the updates, and yeah, they'll eventually have it. They're developing like crazy. So yeah, it's so much stuff. But I do have a few automated processes I still run. So, oh well. Anyway, so Jay, you're last. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing?
Pretty good, man.
Good to see everybody here.
Yeah.
Glad you actually have your camera on this time.
They never have camera on.
I know.
Yeah, I was trying to deploy the new IVR using your video, Pat. I got about halfway till had to pop on here. But it's looking pretty good. It's very interesting.
Well,
any news on it?
Took a cue from Charles. Charles, have you figured out a way to?
I saw that video. I was like, "This MFer." Like we just got off that call.
I told you. I
was like, "Oh, look at that!" And he's talking about selling it for $297 when I just got done talking about selling an account for $297.
I told you I was going to make a tutorial about it.
It's all good. It's all good. But as soon as I saw it pop up on my YouTube notifications, I was like, "Oh, okay, I know exactly what's in this just by the cover photo."
Yep.
So,
hey, have we figured out how to take input while the playback is going, or is that still? It's driving me crazy, man.
It's a Twilio thing, though. I think it's even if you build an IVR through Twilio Direct, in their studio, you're still going to deal with a situation that you have to listen to the whole prompt. You can't push a button through mid prompt. It's been that way from day one with Twilio. And since all of this goes through Twilio, I don't think you're ever going to be able to do it.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Well, they may, because it is their IVR system. It is 100% HighLevel's IVR system. Okay. So they may be able to fix that.
If they could fix that, and then they move voicemails to conversations, that's a really solid IVR. Very solid IVR.
Power through nutrition. You know what I love? Getting these emails that I'm like, who the hell is this location? Did I sell this person? I just got a A2P complete and verified email. I'm like, Power Through Nutrition. Who the heck is Power Through Nutrition?
Yeah, I'm on so many.
I guess that's a sub account. I don't know.
I'm on so many different agencies that when I help somebody with script or something, that I get all these notifications that this is scheduled for deletion and this payment's failed and this one was paused and this new user. I'm like, I don't know where all this stuff's coming from. It's crazy. So,
Tyler, Texas. I still don't know who this is.
Kevin, you figure out what you were going to ask?
Yeah, I'm fairly new to the SaaS configurator and stuff like that. And the agency I'm helping with, they're doing everything as far as the account setup manually. Each and every one of them. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I'm like, I'm 100% sure you can do this with a SaaS configurator, but the thing they're doing is they're working for an insurance provider, and they're doing the SaaS. They're buying the SaaS, and so basically the insurance agents themselves don't pay anything.
But you can do that in SaaS.
You can do a free SaaS offer, and then
Well, so you can, in the SaaS configurator, you would have to use Stripe. So with Stripe, you could have it auto create the account, and
wouldn't you have
no,
them?
you
Like
wouldn't even have to.
What I did for one of the partners that signed up is I put him on a SaaS plan and sent him the link to add his credit card so he could cover incidentals. Then when he did that, I went into Stripe and I added him to my plan, but my plan's got a 7-day free trial. And then I just added the 100% coupon code for forever inside Stripe. And so it just basically like, here's your free trial. And I then once I added that to his tab, it attached itself. Then I just added the 100% off coupon.
When you say they're making the account from, like, they're building out each and every account, what exactly do you mean by that?
Well,
like they're creating a new sub account?
They use this, they have a snapshot, and then they make the snapshot, then they go through and they go into each and every setting. To
enable and disable features?
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. Anyway, I'm just kind of new to the SaaS part of it, so I don't know what's really possible.
What I would do, in all actuality, you don't need SaaS for what they need. So you need $297 plan and marketer's toolkit.
Oh, okay.
Because now with the update, one nice update that they had for multi-location businesses, which is now you can enable a SaaS account without a subscription, but tie the credit card to the rebilling. So you have your corporate account that the actual subscription is going through. So they're paying, whatever, $297, $497, whatever for their account. All the other accounts are just ancillary accounts for each individual agent or whatever. That's fine. You don't have to charge for those other SaaS accounts, but you do need that corporate credit card that's tied to that location and that Stripe subscription to also be tied to all these others, because corporate is paying for their texts and emails, not the actual.
Well, no,
or maybe they're not.
No, the agent has to pay for their texts and emails and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you would just create a SaaS account and they would get the pop-up notification to add their credit card, and then they just get charged for rebilling. They don't even have to have a subscription tied to it. If they're not are they charging them a monthly subscription?
No.
They're just giving them free accounts with rebilling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then they don't even need the SaaS configurator.
It's just the setup of those accounts. It's
either that or use a Stripe checkout, like we were saying earlier. You use SaaS configurator and Stripe checkout, and you would just have a coupon code and set it to like the company name. Something stupid simple. Unlimited redemptions, 100% discount forever, and they sign up. It ties their credit card to that sub account, but they're getting the account for free, and it'll load the snapshot and everything else. And then I would still probably, then you could set permissions, but all automatically off the SaaS configurator.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I thought corporate was paying for everything because they made that update, because previously what happened is you couldn't do multi-location rebilling on one card because the SaaS configurator would only let you tie one credit card to one sub account for rebilling, which was a huge issue on multi-locations, because it's like, well, how are we supposed to rebuild all these other locations under this corporate umbrella? Like that doesn't work. We need it all to bill. And so you'd have to do multiple Stripe checkouts to create another customer. Like they would have to sign up again and again and again, just so you had a different customer in Stripe. And in the Stripe side, it got so confusing because you don't know which, Kevin Tassin is the right Kevin Tassin for this sub account. That was crazy.
Probably easier just to go through a form and then going through Pabbly and create the account. Have that on the corporate account. They just put the name.
Can't create a well, depending on how old their agency is and how long they've been on that 297 plan, they may not be able to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on the SaaS level, so.
Yeah,
they're on
no,
SaaS.
yeah.
Then
SaaS,
just do a Stripe checkout.
Okay.
Yeah, Stripe checkout. And
newer accounts can't do sub account creation. Dwayne.
Okay.
That was a legacy thing that if you had it, you have it.
I have that.
But if you didn't get it, you're never going to get it on the 297. They took that feature away. So you either got grandfathered in or you didn't.
What feature is that?
Agency API on the 297 plan. For like auto creating accounts.
Yep. We got to have some features in the 497 plan that's not in 297. I mean, damn.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're scaling, if you get 5 or more accounts, there's no freaking reason why you shouldn't be on SaaS.
Right.
Plain and simple. You're costing yourself more money to not be on SaaS than to be on SaaS. Because I guarantee you have more manual processes. And that's costing you more money. Because time is money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So.
Well, cool. Do we have any other questions? It's a pretty light session this week.
Well, we got completely dumped on over the last couple of weeks with all the feature sets.
Yeah,
that's old news. Shit, I'm waiting.
Charles,
for the
are they going to be making HIPAA
sub account level?
Yeah.
Yes, that is coming.
You know what the pricing is going to be on that from a reseller
no
point of view?
Clue. Have no clue.
Did you see that they dropped the couple in-app paid into
I did
settings? Yeah,
I did. I have no use for either one, but yeah I did. Yep.
So I guess paid apps from
there's at least 2 apps that have actually walked the line so far.
Yeah, we saw that.
You mean it's being white labeled?
Yeah, and having actual pricing on their app so that it's a seamless experience for the end user to actually sign up and have it integrated.
Ah, gotcha.
Because with the free apps, I mean, that's great. But the problem is everything is hand holding by the agency. I mean, you've basically got to go in and do everything for them. So yeah, there's 2 apps that are now in reselling. If you go into agency reselling, you should see them. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom.
I'm not going to have the app store. I went and hit it with some CSS.
Yeah, I have it hidden.
Yeah, I have no.
It's going to stay hidden for a while.
It's stay hidden for a real long while.
Hide it.
At least till after probably sometime in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So, because there is some stuff in there I would like to offer to my clients if they want to pay for it and add it on. Hey, so
I think like some of the direct mail stuff. I think
like mailbox power.
Yeah, I think there's some. I think that would be very useful for certain businesses to have access to do that. Do like thank you gifts and stuff like that, personal thank you gifts. I thought that was like, but like all the lead gen stuff, like the new one they just dropped in there. That's really an agency thing. It's a lead scraper. The lead one, it's a lead scraper. And I'm not quite sure.
That's an agency thing.
Absolutely, I went and researched it. I dug into it. It's a lead scraper.
Yeah, it's a lead scraper, but I don't think that makes it a agency thing.
It's definitely a B2B thing that wants to deal with small. It's a B2B thing that wants to deal with small businesses.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And most of the people we sell to are local businesses that are B2C and not B2B.
Oh yeah. I've got a lot of B2B.
So. See, I have no B2B.
Online B2B.
Yeah.
So like I had a call with one of my clients, Venture HR, huge HR company. We were getting one of their new salespeople something was screwed with their Outlook sync. So, but yeah,
AI conversation AI workflows. You could actually build a prompt in there. You can build a persona with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
in the workflow action,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
I think is that. Here's my question: is it dependent on what is up in conversational AI, or is it independent? Meaning, you don't have to
it's
have
dependent. It still has the same focus. You're either doing support Q&A or scheduling an appointment. It's still conversational AI. It's just putting it into workflows as an action.
But you
so
can
instead
also
of building out this extravagant if else, positive, negative feedback, it's complicated workflow. You just throw in conversation AI and say, hey, how you doing? Oh, we're doing great. Awesome. How are you looking to implement AI in your business today? We can help you with that. Let's get an appointment. Think about, just that short of a conversation. Think how much time and effort you would have to spend building that out manually. You're talking 2, 3, 4 branches of if else statements, all now reduced down to one action.
Okay. So you still feel you would have to, because you can set the questions in that conversation line. You can feel
right, because it has to have an engagement point.
Yeah, have an engagement point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So how would you? Yeah. So if you were doing that, so if we're adding in a
personality, right?
Yeah. So friendly and professional help bot. So
okay. Hey, well, hi, my name is James. You're
yeah. So
additional instructions. What the first question is, and then after that, do nothing. Just let the bot take over. Let the conversational AI take over.
So you can define goals and instructions. So basically, this is going to be your prompt.
Mm-hmm.
So customer service, and your goal is next generate the next best response in the conversation. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Well, so it's going to send out the question, then based on their response and the question that was asked, it's going to follow up with the most logical response after that. Because remember, it continues with the conversation.
Or if you have a set, the ones I've seen, the YouTube channels I've watched some guys doing it, that they have a set questions. They're qualifying a lead. And I think you and I talked about this yesterday, where you want to qualify the lead with 4 or 5 questions, and you don't want them dumping all, because right now conversational AI will dump all the questions in my testing all in the same prompt. In the same,
it doesn't do that. I don't like. I keep hearing this stuff. I'm like, I don't see any of this happening in mine.
Yeah, it happens in the.
And see, and I wouldn't even turn on the advanced bot configurations. I would just leave that off and say, "Here's my freaking question. Ask it and have fun with it." And I'll click thumbs up, thumbs down afterwards.
Sure. Steve, send me. I want to see links like what you found on YouTube. I want to see how the people are using this. This is interesting. I haven't messed with it yet myself, so
yeah,
but could be pretty cool. But yeah, so yeah, lots of
That's what it is. That branch question. So you get your timeout conditions, and then you get your branch questions. And what this guy was doing was he showed an example of a solar company where you filled out a lead form, or the trigger was either a lead form or it was a Facebook form, and then he was running him down 3-4 questions for qualifying the prompt, for qualifying them. And instead of having custom fields that you would capture the information, if they said this, and if it was a positive font or the reply had this in it, it makes it much easier to build that type of flow for qualifying a lead.
Interesting.
And so my question is, do you have actually, if you set your prompt here with your instructions, your personality, right? Your additional instructions is really your prompt.
Sure.
And your personality, you're just saying, hey, my name is Jamie, and I am and this.
Like trained in the style of Jordan Belfort. So there's your
prompt.
Wolf of Wall Street personality.
Personality. Yeah. Which
then,
then your prompt will go right there. And then your opening question would go there, and then how it answers in the branch would lead on to the next one. And
so your goal is to generate. I would have to see how this actually works in a workflow, because I can't quite figure out how it would work.
Yeah, I get it.
So send me put a link in the chat if you have some of those YouTube videos to.
Well, I'm going over to YouTube right now.
I'm too lazy to look at it.
I know you are, dude. I know.
Google it.
You have too much work on your plate.
I must have an onboarding going on right now.
I got to get that stuff done for Dwayne. Otherwise, he's going to be pissed off. So, got to get that review stuff going.
There we go.
Did you drop it in chat?
We got the clock on you.
I'm just trying to get the shared link. Copy and go to here. Chat. Here we go, Pat.
Oh, no, you direct message it to everybody.
Oh, you can direct message it to everybody.
Oh, fine. Here. Come on. Stupid ads.
Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build an AI chatbot that can respond back.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So that's brand new. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll watch that later.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. I'll have to see how he did that, because that might make my prompts a whole lot easier as well. So
again, it's based off doing lead gen, paid advertisement. And my question is that I had, because he shows that he's tweaking the conversational AI a little bit, and if I think about it, you really don't. If you set your prompt at the top.
Well, this allows you to do conversation AI without having to set up all the domains and the URLs and all the extra stuff inside the configuration. This allows you to like basically do what I was doing as far as like qualifying, saying like this person's got to be qualified, and this person, they got to have these. They got to they're qualified with these criteria, or they're not qualified, that sort of thing. Whereas the conversational AI, you probably had to have it give it a URL of, what qualifies a person, or a lead or something like with solar. Like, do you own the house? How's your credit score? And is your house south facing? I don't know that the default conversation AI would have been able to handle that.
No, those are the questions that
exactly. Like, whereas like, okay, well, if you ask like, so how's your credit? And you go like, well, I got a 500. Like, okay, you're not our client. So that way you could tell it in the instructions, like a qualified person is this, and ask these questions.
So you can do that in conversational AI. It's just different than what you would think.
Okay.
So you do that in the Q&A section. Because you're saying, okay, if they like you, and you do that in the additional training. So if you have someone come back and they say, oh, they're 500, you let it generate its response. And part of this is just, it's learning. I mean, because like I've had some answers that are like, nah, it really should have been pointed this direction, not that direction. Like it should have included this email in this instance and not that email. Well, and so I just go in, hit a thumbs down and train it. It adds what it needs to automatically to the Q&A section. And then it also updates the logic of it.
Gotcha.
And the next time it comes through, it does exactly what it's.
Because I was going to say, like, with the workflow actions, it looks like you can really get it a little more.
You can get a lot more control over it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want. Like, I built the prompt so that if you failed, like you could tell it, like if you pass one or more criteria, then you're qualified. Or you could say like you have to pass all these criteria, otherwise you're not qualified, and don't let that person book. So I was running through a prompt, and like where it was asking like, do you rent or own? How's your credit score, and can you book an appointment? So I told it I had a bad credit score, and it said, okay, well, I don't think you're our client. And I said, but I still want an appointment. It's like, no, you don't get one. No, it's like like no matter what I told it, it wouldn't do it. And I said, okay, I just checked my credit. I have a 770. It's like, oh, here's the link. So it's like that's what I want to be able to do with it. I want to be like refuse, like, because if you want to only send somebody qualified leads, you want to be able to like, I don't want you booking no matter what. If you're a bad lead, you don't get a book. Period.
Yeah, and you could do that and just add in a math operation to a, qualified lead custom field. So if it passes down this side, okay, that's +1. Sure, and once they get to this branch, if this score is 3 or better, then we'll go here. If not, then we'll go over here. Now we've qualified them, disqualified them.
Yeah, because you could do the same thing with lead gen for your SaaS too as well. Like, are you really a qualified good get up to your scoring? And if not, maybe you should just get the social planner. So so I'll have to mess around with that some more. This looks pretty cool as far as being able to do a
there's your prompting.
Yay! I love prompting. Hey, my prompts are tight, man. What's that?
It's been there for a week or so. It's been there since Level Up.
I know this. I was busy making IVR tutorials. What are you talking about? No, I just I've been a little bit busy with everything else. So I just can't look into every single feature, but I'm definitely gonna look into it now and watch that video. So but cool. Well, we had Ryan join us all kind of late, but what's up, Ryan? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Really happy that you are still on. I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh shoot, totally forgot that you were doing the office hours.
We always do the replays. You catch the replays on the YouTube.
Hold on, my mic just cut off.
No, we can hear you. Yeah, maybe now we can't.
You still able to hear me?
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. So I just have a quick question on the complex review funnels. I'm having just a little bit of issues, or there's like 3 little issues I'm having with it.
Oh, okay.
One's, I think it's all has to do with JavaScript, but I'm not 100% positive. You want me to share my screen real quick so I'm going to show you?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
And are you using the easy wins or the old review funnels?
Easy wins.
Okay, good. All right.
All right. So the first thing is, so if someone does 2 or 3, it pops right up with this.
Okay.
But these 2,
4 and 5
will pop up unless you click it like 6 times and you have to refresh it once. Because if I just put this in here to a new one, as you can see, it really doesn't do anything no matter how many times I click for a 4-star. But if I refresh it once, oh, I lied to you.
Well, I tell you what, DM me about that, and then if you want to add me to that location as an admin, I can dive into the code and see what is going on with that.
Appreciate that. And the other thing is, soon as I do click on, if I go here, maybe it'll go. So then this kind of disappears on it.
Yeah. So that's those buttons. If they have review links, like go to Google or whatever. And I think I'm gonna do an upgrade as well so that we can, like, if they click 4 or 5 stars, it can just immediately redirect to Google if you want. But we put those buttons there. If the buttons don't have links, it should remove the buttons. So I would check the custom values to make sure you've got those buttons linked. Okay. Otherwise, or it could still be like maybe it's a leftover JavaScript problem from the latest HighLevel update that they did that drove me crazy the other day. So I can dive in and take a peek.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I can add you to it. And then just the other one was when I get the first page where I have to put in the name, number, and stuff. So as soon as I click submit, it just does the loading forever. One refresh, it'll work. It'll bring me to the previous screen.
That's weird. Okay, yeah, we'll check it. It's more than likely it might just be some custom values are off or something. I don't know. We'll check and see.
All right, appreciate that. So you said just message you, add you to the location.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
You got it, man. Cool.
Hey, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Mr. I like to code.
I do like that.
And so I want to do a uptime monitor.
Yeah.
For HighLevel, but I need it to say Pinnacle.
Okay.
I don't need details. Like I just need like the status. Like, hey, it's down. But I need.
Is that basically for everybody, or is it for like individual sites? Like, are you doing it for client sites, or are you doing it for just like overall umbrella
high level as in general?
Okay, so that would be pretty easy because really, like what Uptime Robot does is they do a thing where they basically pull.
I just dropped him a link to Uptime Robot.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Right.
well, Uptime Robot is, but you want it white labeled.
I think
Correct.
I think they have
I
think they have a white label.
You can white label it, but you can't white label the service that you're actually showing is up or down. It says HighLevel. You can't change the name of the cloud service. That's the problem. So I have to do whatever I have to do. I have to do it. I have to manually connect it. I can't take anything that's auto configured in Cloud Connect on any of these monitor platforms because they all say HighLevel.
HighLevel.
Now, if they said lead connector, that'd be fine.
Did you drop it in a Google sheet and then bring it back out? So it posts?
No, and a lot of these, they have details attached to them. So I have to make sure that it's not showing, because a lot of these, like Uptime,
just take it in as an email and strip it out and then purge it and then bring it back in.
Back into what?
Wherever you're going to repost it at.
Oh, I'm not posting. This is going to be a live monitor.
Yeah.
And if something goes down, it automatically is going to post a message into a Slack channel to notify all my users, hey, this is down. Because the problem is like, it doesn't happen a lot, but when HighLevel has these little glitches, which, you know, AWS had a glitch, Cloudflare had a glitch, and it slowed everything to a freaking crawl.
Yep.
So people were having trouble logging in because I'm on Cloudflare. So when Cloudflare got hit the other day, support was getting hammered because they didn't know. Because I don't have an uptime monitor. If I could say, hey, this is down, they could at least know and not blow up support.
What you could do for like Cloudflare or the other ones, you could subscribe. Like you could set up a Zap for each one of those to subscribe to the RSS feed.
Well, and see, those I can use Cloud Connect services. I don't care if the details show in those because there's nothing to try to hide. Like Google Cloud, AWS.
Well, what I'm saying is like you could subscribe to those, and then if you get an RSS, like something happens, or if you get an email, you could actually have it send an email to Zapier's email parser.
Yeah, but I also thought about adding it as a slide out too. I'm like, because remember, I am full blown on this SaaS. Like, I'm a software company. I'm not a freaking service company. So, that's why I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool to have an uptime monitor. Everybody likes my change log. I'll be like, yeah, I got a change log and an uptime monitor. How you like?
I'd have to see like what your what specific things that you
so I can
monitor, but basically the whole thing would be you'd have a script on a cron job so that every 5 minutes it would ping one of the services, and if it got an error code like 400 or 5, like anything beyond a 200 error code is going to be a problem. And so if it gets one of those, then basically it would basically like tell you or put something somewhere in a database or something. So this is what you want, huh?
This is what I'm wanting. So Google Cloud, Twilio, these are all the systems that I need to monitor. Google, and there's some in here that I'd like to monitor that aren't, but Google Cloud, Twilio, Cloudflare, AWS, WhatsApp, Mailgun, Mongo. I don't have HighLevel in here, but I would want HighLevel in here. I'd want API 2 in here.
Who's using Mongo Cloud?
HighLevel does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if they're having slowdowns, odds are HighLevel
contacts
may be having some of the database calls may be a little bit slow.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's their database.
Okay.
So yeah, this is what I'm looking for, but I need to be able to white label.
Why are they not using AWS's database?
They use AWS, they use Google Cloud, and they use Mongo. They use all three.
And they're all.
Yeah, Mongo's JSON based, and so it's
It depends on what part of the database that they're working in as to what service they're actually using.
Got it. Because Mongo is really it's not SQL. It's
right.
Just a container.
Yep.
Yeah, just a container.
Yep. So depending on what part of the platform, different parts of the platform, some of it's on Google Cloud, some of it's on AWS, some of it's on Mongo, some of it's even through Cloudflare. Believe it or not.
And so
of course you have WhatsApp.
So you want to So what do you want to show publicly to your client? Something like this?
Something like this, but I need HighLevel in here.
That doesn't say HighLevel, but says Pinnacle.
Correct. That's my hang up.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck with that.
I know. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Glad I can help you.
And so the only other thing to do is like go into API 2, run calls off of API 2, but then I have to go into every single endpoint and do a call to each endpoint to see what's up, what's down. You know how freaking long that would take?
Yeah.
It'd take a long time.
Let's see.
So, yeah.
Well, HighLevel has status things, so you could probably subscribe to that.
HighLevel doesn't have status thing. You know who made that? ChatHQ.
Okay. Still status.gohighlevel.com. You could probably still subscribe to it. And so they have contacts, forums, membership opportunities, and websites.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure you could subscribe.
But see, and I want this, but in white label form.
Sure.
So how can you do that, Pat?
Give me a couple of minutes. I got to get to that YouTube video that Charles sent me or that Steven sent me first. So then I'll build you an uptime robot. I probably won't.
I know you won't. I mean, maybe I'm just a geek, and but
yeah. Yeah, no, I can see where you'd like to have a status on it. That would be good. So that way when something happens. But the thing is like as soon as something goes down, nobody checks the status except us nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my users are active in Slack, and that's why, like, if I could do this and have it white labeled and also have it integrate with Slack, so that way, anytime when something goes down,
why don't you just subscribe to it and then have it go through Zapier and then do like a regular expressions?
I mean, I'll result to that if I have to, but if I can have a fully white labeled down meter, then that
way
would
to
be
go. And then you could say,
look, I'm trying to set myself apart, like. I want Sean next HighLevel and be like, you know how we talk about SaaS? This is how you freaking do SaaS. Like, he is a software company. You guys are crazy. You should be selling SaaS.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do.
Like, you don't need us for crap.
Trying to sell SaaS, and then you want me to do and write some kind of code crap so you can have your uptime monitor.
It's more interesting than all that ChatGPT stuff.
No, it's not.
Sounded good.
Well, you kind of. Hey, Kevin, you came in right before we started.
I wouldn't give him any of a hard time.
No. What's up, Kevin?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. What kind of stuff you got going on this week?
LC mail.
Yeah, LC. Man, Charles always enlightens me in all this all these tech stuff. I'm like asking him the most basic questions, but he always knows the answer, so it's good. But I just got one or two new customers, so I'm just getting them onboarded with a couple things.
Cool.
Yeah, I got one or two more in the pipeline. So
very nice, very nice. How'd you score them?
I cold called them. One is a mobile beauty I guess she comes to your house and does like massages and you know,
one
like
of those.
yeah.
Is she actually paying, or is this a barter account?
You have a phone number?
I feel like this is a barter account.
Different
think you're
strokes for
bartering this
different
one way.
folks.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
she's got this business. So I noticed her truck. She had a really nice wrapped like trailer, almost like a a landscaping trailer. And they were just driving around. I looked them up. They actually used to live around near me, but they're in Florida most of the time. And it's her and her boyfriend or husband, but they do like couples massages and all that kind of stuff and other like stuff that ladies do, like, nails and all that kind of stuff. But they come to your house. And so I thought, well, man, I thought someone with a super nice truck, they must have like, Google reviews and some basic stuff set up. And she basically is like, not much. So anyway, I called her and then I sent her a Loom video of how the conversation AI could work for her business, just asking a couple quick questions. And, she was amazed that it could answer some basic questions about her services. And yeah, so anyway, she's like, let's get started on Monday. So that's next Monday.
Cool. Good. Very nice.
Question. So like with her, do you use the prospecting tool at all?
No, I actually don't. I mean, I've looked at it. I just never really get around to doing it. I'm most of the time, Charles, I'm driving, home from my school job. Right. And if I see a truck near me that's got a nice wrap on it, I call them up and I'll say, hey, I just saw your truck at Wawa or whatever, and yeah, I'll just start talking to them. So I don't even get around to doing that prospecting tool.
One way of prospecting for sure.
Maybe a good thing to, if you don't close them, send them that as a follow-up.
No, I totally should. Definitely.
Yeah, it's gotten
because you can generate it at any time. And now they're doing what? Do they have chat enabled? They just added some more things that it's checking for.
They got a bunch of extra features in there now. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to be able to push it to a sub account.
Well, either that or put it into a workflow. Be able to send it out in a workflow.
Yeah, something.
Or even better, take a contact and be able to generate the report off the business name, address, and all that stuff. So that way you could actually do like audits.
But it sits at the agency level, so you have to attach it to kind of like the SaaS. You have to be able to attach it to a sub account.
Oh, for sure.
So you can email out, you could do prospecting out, you could do follow up out of it. So I think they have to kind of look at how they did SaaS and say, okay, SaaS now attach that to a particular sub account, which is your internal agency sub account, to do that. And I would like to see greater customization of the report itself. Other than that, it's pretty decent. But hey, we're not all
damn picky.
You know what? See, the thing is,
I just want my uptime monitor. God dang it!
Oh my god!
We all should be chasing. Charles, in our private conversation, I said, I really want to model you and just be a SaaS company, and I'm done with this agency stuff. I've literally bought the domain dropyouradagency.com.
Nice. Because
I feel, as I've said on this call before, I think 24 months, agencies are going to be pretty much done.
Yeah. I need to figure out what to do with my domain. I need more customers now.com. I did get that one a while back. So do with that.
Did anybody see the update in email services at the sub account level?
No. What's going on?
So, yeah, show.
Now you can have most people probably won't go through all the nonsense to do this, but it is kind of nice. So if you go into email services, if you want, you can add 3 domains. So you go into dedicated domain, add 3 dedicated domains.
Yeah.
And then you can go into domain configuration, and you can pick the domain that you want for workflow, one-to-one, and default to get dedicated.
Nice.
Very nice.
Finally. Nice.
So if you wanted to have one that was just kind of your default, you could have that in the sub account. You could have one for workflows, like a no reply or whatever. And then, or you could have this as your reply, this is your no reply, and then this is your name at.
Very nice.
Or info or whatever the heck you wanted it to be. Yeah.
Cool. Very nice.
That was pretty slick.
But no. That's the sending domain. That's the
sending domain.
Yeah, it's not the actual.
Well, the only way you could do this before was that you had to you could do it before, but you had to go into the each workflow, you had to set that as the default email for it to know that that's the one you wanted to send. So let's say you didn't get around to all the workflows, or you created a new workflow and forgot to set it. It's going to use whatever's in the company's defaults. So here you can just set it across the board. And you know that no matter what, every email that's coming out of workflows is going to go through that domain. And this just goes to reputation management when it comes to your email services.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to keep you off the blacklist. And that way, if you burn one, so my workflows aren't performing as well. Let me flip over to the one I've been using for one-to-one because I know it's good and warmed up. I have good reputation on it because it's just been one-to-one emails.
So what's
but I need better deliverability here.
What's the default dedicated? I see having one for workflows, seeing one for conversations. What is that default one going to be used for? What's
probably for like portal membership, things like that. Where it's like internal to the system itself. It's not really workflow based.
Okay, so any communication
could also work for email campaigns, I would imagine.
Oh, okay.
So, but I thought I was like, that's nice that they added that in there because a lot of people have kind of wanted it.
But that would have to be 3 separate domains, correct? Because you can't have those as subdomains. If you put it as subdomains, it still counts as your domain.
No,
if you burn it,
no. Subdomains stand on their own reputation.
Yep.
If anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying to you.
I thought for email, it's still counted towards.
Nope.
Now, some email service providers like Yahoo and Live, they really don't put as much weight as Google does on sending domains. They more look at email address and IPs. And that's why you'll generally see a lot of deliverability issues with Yahoo and MS Microsoft type of emails.
Does it make sense to create multiple, let's say outbound 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just let it sit in there and just use them in sequence?
I would tell you that for most, depending on your clients, it's all going to depend on your clients. Mine, I don't have to worry about it. They're not buying lists. They're not doing any stupid crap to burn an email up. Now, if you have like real estate agents, if you have sales professionals that are buying lists of any kind, oh yeah, you need to prepare because they're going to burn email addresses left and right. I don't care where they're buying their list from or where they're scraping the data from. It's still going to be 90% garbage.
When are they planning on dropping the warming service? You think
should be coming soon? They've got bulk verify released. They've got the IPs released, dedicated IPs. The dedicated IPs do have some kind of warming associated with them. There's not a lot of description on it. So I'm waiting for, and they just dropped that in the dedicated domain section. So I'm expecting it here relatively soon, if not this quarter, next quarter. But it wouldn't surprise me if it came up this.
What would be cool in the workflow area is to be able to select a sending domain for a particular workflow.
You can.
And at the workflow level?
Yeah.
Sending domain.
Yeah.
Not email address, sending domain.
Well,
with the domains that you just set up, you
can.
Let's say I have 5.
No, so you would say, the
email would be the sending domain from the sending.
No, it's not the sending domain. It's the
sending
email address.
You would use an email with that sending domain in the workflow.
Yeah. So you're wanting it to dynamically insert the front half of it? Is that what you're?
No, the sending domain. The sending domain is separate from this email address.
I understand that.
Really separate. So the sending domain, I would like to be able to, in the workflow. Let's say I'm building a workflow around a particular, because I sub niche out a lot in my workflows under one sub account. So I would like to choose a sub. Let's say I'm marketing on this. I want this sending domain associated with this product line, and then I want this sending domain associated with this product line. Has nothing to do with the email address, the to and from email address, and then from a reputation point of view, right?
In workflows, it does. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you the way HighLevel is built, it does what you're wanting by putting the email address in the settings. So if you have, let's say you have 3 different niches, okay? We'll do legal, real estate, and medical. Okay. If you have yourlegalservices.com, your medical services, blah, blah, blah. Okay. In the workflow, in the settings part, if you set it to info@yourlegalservices.com, everything that comes out of that workflow will come from that domain, which is what you want, right? And the other one, if you put your medical services at your medical services in the settings of the default email for that workflow in the settings, it will go out under that domain. As long as you have them in there with LC Mail, it will pick up whatever you have there and say, hey, this is the domain that they put in here. We need to send it through that matching domain.
Okay, I get that. But most of us are setting up subdomains as our sending emails. So getting back to what Dwayne said is, well, then the reputation, let's say I go lc.realestate.com as the sending domain. And I go, I don't believe you can put lc.realestate.com on the other side, on the right side of the @ sign. I don't think you can use subdomains as an email, as an email address.
Yes. That's how all of ours are built.
Not info. Info is the user.
You can use a custom value before the @
I get that.
I mean, it's sending through the domain. It doesn't matter if it's a subdomain or a primary domain. If it's put in that workflow, it's going to send through that domain. Has that not been your experience?
No. A sending domain is completely and utterly different from a sending email address. Completely different.
So what are you wanting put before the @
Whatever I want it to be. But again, I don't think you can use a subdomain as in an email address. So what I'm understanding what you're saying is, let's say I create a sending domain with the subdomain whatever, lc dot whatever, right? If I understood you correctly, I would put info@lc.whatever.com as my email address. And if that's the case, HighLevel will see that sending domain of lc dot and use what I've set up. Is that correct? But
it'll use the lc.whatever.com. Yeah.
Oh, because to my understanding, I didn't think you could use that as an email address. I've never seen that.
Absolutely. Oh, you mean have it come back in? Yeah. Like as an inbox?
No, just as an
outgoing?
As an outgoing. I've never seen a subdomain used as an outgoing.
It's always done that.
I've seen it as a sending domain, but never in an email address.
Yeah. Every single one of my accounts is set up that way. Every single one. Has been since the beginning.
So you have so an email address is, steve@lc.topleveldomain.com.
Yeah.
As an email address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so Charles, that video you just did last week about having
With the inbox.
the catch-all.
Yeah. Catch-all.
Mm-hmm.
But you're using it as a subdomain for the catch-all.
Correct. Because that's what we set up their dedicated domains as. They're all subdomains. There are no primary domains in any of my accounts, period. We don't even let them.
Okay. Now,
we make them go get a Google Workspace.
Really? Instead of
we make them function like a real freaking business.
Yeah, but you don't need it. You could do that in HighLevel. You don't need, you just can't.
You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have email campaigns going out under your primary domain. You're going to have workflows going out under your primary domain. It is the worst freaking move that any business could make, period.
Well, not with this new update. We could change where they're going out.
You're still going to run the risk. I'm telling you, because what if your client goes in there and changes something and doesn't know any better? What if they change their default? Oh, I want my default to be my primary.
Mm-hmm.
And now every freaking email blast that they shoot out is under their primary. And oh, by the way, that email campaign just went off to a list that they bought off the internet. And now they just burn their primary domain.
I just think it just looks odd and not common having a
nobody freaking looks at it. Nobody looks at it.
Has a dot in between.
Nobody looks at it.
No, but for incoming. So if I give out that email for someone to email me in, me saying
that's not the purpose of people don't do that. What ends up happening is they will click. So if they want to, so say I email you and you're like, oh, I want to save this email because I may want to email them later. So you click next to my name in your email and you click save contact. Well, it's saving my dedicated domain that is a subdomain as my email. So let's say 3 months from now, you transfer over to, you take that contact and it's in your phone now, but your phone's default email is one that I don't have in the CRM, and you send me a one-off email. Guess where it's going to go? Nowhere. Out into the great abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not in the CRM, and I've never sent you an email to that email that you're emailing me from. So by adding the subdomain to the business email, it creates a universal inbox so that if by chance you do just send a one-off from a new address that I've never emailed, it comes back into the system no matter what. It doesn't matter what you put in front of, you could put, Mary Jo Francis at whatever that dedicated domain is. It wouldn't matter. It's a catch-all. It's just a safety net. The problem is nobody knows that it even exists.
Yeah, that was pretty cool that I set one of those. I had an old Twitter account that I don't have the email set up anymore. So I just had the domain. So I literally set up a HighLevel location on the domain and just set up the catch-all. So when I said reset my password, it's like, okay, we're going to send it to you. So I was able to get that from Twitter and boop, there we go. Awesome.
Yep.
Didn't have to set up WordPress, didn't have to set up a G Suite and all that other crap. Just a location, and that's all it does is catch emails. So
yep. Yeah, it's not meant to be a replacement. HighLevel is not a replacement for an actual business email account. It's not. No CRM on this planet Earth is.
And if you're running, if you've got anybody that's got a business with more than one employee, for the pay-per-call stuff, we got 7 people in the company. So we have G Suite set up. So everybody's got their own accounts. And then we have distribution lists for billing and AR and, development, stuff like that, so that everybody gets things that way. You can't do that in HighLevel. I wouldn't do it in HighLevel.
Nope. The only thing that should be in HighLevel for emails is subdomains. If you want to use your primary domain, get a Google or Outlook account and use two-way sync. That's what we tell every single user. It's in our SOP for onboarding.
I don't even know that I would want two-way sync on, because then you got all that crap in there, everything.
No, it's not. No,
stuff and coupons and junk.
no, none of that comes in.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
have two-way sync on. I don't get any of that. The only stuff I get is if I've emailed them from HighLevel, or I blind carbon copied my two-way sync email to push that contact into HighLevel, create the contact, and marry that email record together.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get anything else. If I haven't sent them an email from Pinnacle or blind carbon copied them in, it doesn't come into HighLevel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a like.
It's not true
absolute.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay. Because I know like the calendars are pretty much universal two-way sync. So you turn on two-way sync, like everything shows up in there. Everything. My wife adds me to an appointment. It shows up in my HighLevel stuff as an appointment. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for my benefit, could you expand on that? So if I send from my HighLevel account, a response will come to my HighLevel account. However, if I send from the same Sascha from my Google Space account, the response will come to my Google Space, but not come to my HighLevel account if it's on a two-way sync setup. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. So yes, you can keep them separate if you want.
Because that's what I want. I mean, I absolutely do not want to populate the HL account with, whatever.
Right. So let's say I go to your website and I find your, your general business inbox, okay, at your primary domain. I email it. It's going to go to your Google Workspace account. You're like, okay, well, this is about my business. I do want this conversation in my HighLevel because it's business related. All you would do is in your Gmail, you'd hit reply, but then you would paste it in the blind carbon copy. You would just add the BCC address from HighLevel under the two-way sync settings. And you just create a contact, like GHL sync is what I have in mind. So I just add it to the BCC. I reply to it just like I always would. But now, since I BCC'd HighLevel, it will create the contact and push that entire conversation thread into the conversations. From that point on, I can reply from either place. It doesn't matter. It's going to be synced for eternity from that point on, unless I delete the contact, which I'm not even sure that breaks it, to be honest.
No, thanks for clarifying. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So about the BCC address, right?
I haven't used it yet, but I'm aware. Yeah.
It's purposeful. I mean, it's pretty darn intentional.
Okay. Yeah, because I discovered that when I went through my onboarding call, the help
with
HighLevel, they went ahead and well,
they're horrible.
So, the first guy did the best he could. I mean, never mind. I don't have a perspective on it. I'm too new, right? But long story short is that as it turns out, I shouldn't have been hosting on Namecheap because he deleted my Gmail from the mail server. He said, go ahead and delete that. And then as it turns out, I went out and walked the dog and I had no inbound mail anymore. I'm going, are you kidding me? So the second gentleman was able to assist. And he said, you really should switch over to Cloudflare, or he gave me a couple other options. So I wanted to get your perspective on that as well. He said, because you can't do a two-way sync on Namecheap. So yes, that was actually
that has nothing to do with it. Absolutely, totally not even remotely relatable.
Okay. So what do you recommend? What's your perspective on this then?
Well, I would go with Cloudflare personally. But Namecheap, honestly, there's some advantages. There's some advantages with using Cloudflare when it comes to websites and funnels, because you don't have to do that whole crazy ass backwards CNAME and a record if you have Cloudflare, because you can just set up rules and it'll make sure everything gets the right spot no matter what.
I buy domains on Namecheap and set them up in Cloudflare.
That's what I do. Unless I'm buying it for a client and then I buy it under Cloudflare. I just do it all in Cloudflare because I want to easily transfer it to them.
Right.
They're gonna add Namecheap into the whole domain email setup in the very near future because it's a very large register. So,
but Namecheap's their DNS is not bad. I mean,
not
it's
bad at all. I
definitely
love it.
better
Simple.
than a lot of them out there. But long-term play, I would definitely switch to Cloudflare.
Oh yeah, I'm already in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get your perspective on it before I pull the trigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, and I tell people, you know, whatever your primary domain is that you're using for your agency, for your white label and everything, I would, if you were going to pay for one account, that would be the one account that I would go up to the first tier on. There's no point in going past that, just so you get some of the benefits of maybe a little bit faster. I mean, this
is the $200 a month plan, that one, or
no. It's like $20-something a month.
Oh, okay, the 21. Okay,
yeah,
got it. Yeah, the $20. Okay, got it.
So I have that on my primary domain that I use for absolutely everything that's critical, like my white label and website and everything else, Google Workspace. Everything else is on a free account. I'm like $20 if there's any added security. For me, it's worth it because I can't afford. It's $20. I mean,
indeed.
It's 2 trips to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yes, I drink $9 coffee.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a $5 coffee once in a while.
$9, $5. Where are you getting a $5 coffee at Starbucks?
A grande mocha. I don't know what you're getting. With your half calf, decaf, soy latte, twist.
No, I get a quad venti soy caramel macchiato upside down.
Oh my God. Do you do that with your pinky up? Ow.
I get 2, make 1 extra hot.
Holy cow. You go in with a sweater tied around your neck right before you head off to pickleball.
Nope.
My God, Charles.
I know what I like.
We're going to end on that.
I know what I like. A quad. Listen, a venti is a large.
Yeah.
A quad means 4 shots of espresso.
I gotcha.
Soy, I like soy milk. It's thicker. So when it gets steamed, it's not as thin as whole milk.
Okay. Yeah.
And a caramel latte. Upside down. So they actually put the espresso in first and then they put the milk on top of it. So it actually mixes.
What happens if they
sit there
like if they get it too foamy? What happens? Do you throw it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a latte, so there's not
you're
a
like no, and you just like
cappuccinos have foam.
Okay.
Lattes don't really have foam.
I didn't know if they made it too foamy, then what happens?
It never happens.
Okay, I didn't know if all hell.
They'll know me.
Okay.
Yeah.
A 9. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I thought I was
$9
I thought I was extravagant getting myself a grande mocha.
No, it's not. It's now I'm looking up exactly how much this is. Let's see. It is $9 and something. How was this at?
Do you by chance have a Pekingese with like a little handbag you can carry it in?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking, just valid questions, man, with this coffee order.
No.
Do you have a Mazda Miata?
Really?
I almost bought one of those the other day.
I had a real coupe. I had a turbo MR2.
Okay.
2nd gen.
Well, that's not too bad. But
and I had a 3rd gen, but
okay.
The Spider, I didn't like it as much. But.
Gotcha. Well, if you had
$9 and change.
Good Lord. Ooh.
I get reward points.
Okay. All right. We've been, I think on that note.
Join SaaS and you can start selling SaaS successfully and you can buy yourself $10 coffees.
And not feel bad about it.
Spend $20 at Starbucks every day and not feel bad about it.
You're gonna get shit for it on office hours though.
What's funny is I buy 2 of those first thing in the morning. So I get it on the way to drop the kids off at school. We stop at Starbucks. I order it before I get on the interstate. So by the time I get there, it's already ready to go through the drive-through, done. And then drop the kids off. By the time I get home, I've already drank both of those, and then I'm straight into my coffee. I drink coffee all day long. It's amazing. I haven't had a heart attack.
8 shots in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't even do anything for me, honestly, because I drink coffee all day, every day. That, like, it's my water intake. I got to make sure I'm getting enough water. It's just colored. That's all.
If I drink that much coffee, I'd be like bouncing off the walls.
I'm not. I can drink 2 pots and straight back to back and go straight to bed. It does zilch. It's just my preferred beverage.
All right.
It's an expensive habit.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess it's better.
But I don't drink. So, you know, if that's my vice, that's my vice.
Yep.
Leave me alone. Get my uptime monitor, Pat.
All right. Oh, my God.
I'll buy you a $10 coffee.
Yeah, thanks. All right, guys. Good stuff. We will see you next week. And yeah, maybe we'll have an uptime monitor by next week. So we'll see. All right. Chat you guys later.
Bye.
See you later.
Take care.